Okay, my lesson today is going to cover tables. Okay, so we're still in our HTML unit here, and I want to show you some examples of tables. And I also I'm going to start at the W3 Schools website here, and then I'm going to go, you can see my URL up there, w3schools.com. I'm going to go over here. There's this nice little search tool here, and I'll click on their search button and search for tables. Okay. So my first hit takes me to HTML tables. I'll show you real briefly here, just the tags. So here's a table, and this particular table they have a series of some fruits, and then that's the first column, the second column over here they got some percentages. Okay, so we're familiar with tables. We see them all over the web. We use tables in word processing documents all the time. And they're real popular with spreadsheets and statistical data. Okay, so here let's look at the code for this. All right, so the table tag is actually table. If you want to put a border around it, you want to put lines around it, you have to indicate that by saying border equals 1. And then TR is a table row. So to crank out this first row here, row 1, you have to indicate table row. And then we nest. Okay, and nesting means that there is a TD. Alright, so we actually have a cell here and another cell over here. Okay. So let's try. I think it might be easier to exemplify this. Remember too that they have these try it yourself examples here that you can go ahead and create some tables. I am going to start from scratch here actually. So I have again, remember my setup here. I have a little folder unit 2 that I'm putting everything in. I pulled up my Notepad++ editor. I'm also using the template we put together out of our first one of our first lessons on HTML. So I got my template there. I'll copy it and I'll just go over here. I'll paste that copy in. All right, and this is example. I don't know what example we're on. I'm going to call this example 3, I guess. Okay, and I could fill in the rest of the information here. I'm going to just save it right now. Hit the save as button, or the save button will probably do the same thing, and I'll call this example 3.htm. Alright, so do something real simple here. I'm going to go right to the body. I'm going to take a couple of shortcuts here. Excuse those. In the interest of just being optimal with time here, I'm just going to go right to the table elements here. Alright, and let me put one other piece of text in here, and what I'll do is put a header in here, and I'll say we're gonna put together a little expense journal or expense log. And let me close that tag. Alright, then I'm going to put a table below that. My table, I'm going to have let's see, let's put a header. We also have the table header. You can read about that a little more. And in that table header, let's go back over to, actually let me skip that right now. Let me just go right to a table row. And let's say I'm going to put in 3 rows. I always like the copy and paste feature. I'm doing anything with an editor. So I'm going to put my 3 rows in there, and inside each of those rows I'm going to put some table data or some columns in there. Cells, I guess, would be the right way. TD stands for table data. So let's suppose, whoops, do my copy and paste trick here again. So copy, paste, copy, paste, and then paste. And then what I want to do here is I want to make sure we have borders too. Go back and review my document here. How do we say borders? We say table border equals, and then 1 is in quotation marks. Gotta get syntax right on that. Borders equals 1. Alright. Make sure case sensitivity is right. Whoops, I have a plural there. See how it highlights it in yellow? Let me take that out. Went back to red, indicating that that's correct. Let's save that. Let me pull it up my browser and we'll see where we're at with it right now. From Unit 2, my browser. Wow, interesting. So again, I got Internet Explorer pulled up here, and you see I created it, but see how small it is? Nothing in there yet. Let's put some data in there. Okay, so I'm back over here, and my top one is going to be my header. Let's go ahead and put in some data, and I'll put in a date. And then if we're doing a little expense log here, wherever we spent the money here, let's we'll just say the business that we spent it at, and then we'll go over. Whoops, I shortchanged one. I need one more here. The date. We need an expense. Paste. Put one in there. Okay. Let's see if we make sense out of this here, and then the amount. All right. Actually, I might change this. Let's call this vendor. There's a little more meaning to it. I'll save that. I'll go over here, do a quick refresh. Okay, so now I'm a little more meaningful. Let me go back over here again. Actually, let me magnify this a little bit here. All right, now you can see what we're putting together here. All right, so let's start putting some data in. Okay, so we'll say 10/1/2014. We went to the hardware store, and we purchased, I don't know what, maybe we'll say $45. Okay. Save, refresh. Okay. I can continue to do that. Let me put another expense in here, 10/4/01. So a little more data here. All right, and so we got our table started here. I'll save, refresh. All right, and there's our first example of a table here. So we've created a little expense log. Little reminder here too, if we're using, and I'm not an Internet Explorer user again. You guys heard me say that before. So let me close this off. I'm going to open this up in Firefox. I open with Firefox. And then just real quickly, here's my table. And again, one of my troubleshooting tools, I can use my web developer, and I go over here to page source. And I like using this because this is another tool for me as I start looking for little problems I might be having in my web page. Okay.